If you're selling a home in Weston, staging is one of the most misunderstood decisions sellers make. Some people think staging is just decorating. Others think it's a waste of money. And some sellers spend a lot and still don't get the result they expected. So today, I'm gonna answer the question Weston sellers actually care about. Is luxury staging worth it? What is the biggest impact? And what should you stage and what should you not stage? And I'm going to tie it to real return of investment numbers so you can decide like a business owner, not like a nervous seller. Why staging matters more in Weston in 2026. Let's talk reality in Weston. Buyers here are not just comparing houses. They compare lifestyle. They compare conditions and presentation fast. And the biggest change since the faster market years is that sellers can rely on momentum alone. In 2026, buyers are more selective and they're less forgiving when a home feels dark, cluttered, confusing in layout, or not move-in ready. Staging matters more now because your first showing is online. Before anyone steps inside your home, they already made a decision. It is worth it my time to tour the property. If the listing pictures don't feel premium, many buyers don't tour it. And if fewer buyers tours, you lose the most valuable thing a seller can have: competition. Now I'm gonna make a strong point. In Western luxury, staging is not about impressing people. It's about protecting your leverage. And yes, we have real data behind staging performance. The National Association of Realtor staging report found that 49% of seller agents said staging reduced time on the market, and 29% said staging increased the dollar value offer by 10%. That's not a maybe, that's absurd in the field. So the question is not, is staging pretty? The question is, does staging increase demand, reduce hesitation, and protects your price? Before we go further, let's define staging clearly so you don't waste money. Luxury staging is not decorating. Decorating is your personal taste. Staging is an strategic presentation of the space. Staging has three main goals: make the home pictures better and feel brighter. Make your layout feel more functional so buyers understand the space. And reduce the buyer doubt so you protect price and reduce negotiation. If the staging plan doesn't clearly hit at least two of those, you're probably paying for styling, no staging. And in Weston, you don't need a staging that looks trendy. You need a staging that looks expensive, clean, calm, and timeless. So the biggest question, is it worth it? So let's do the seller math, because this is where people get emotional. The National Association of Realtor staging report show 19% of seller agents reporting staging increase offer by 1 to 5%. 10% reported increases of 6 to 10%. And for speed, 19% say it really decreased time on the market. So now, luxury seller math in Weston. If you have a home that is listed at $1.2 million, a 1% lift is $12,000. Even a small percentage change can be serious money. Now, what's the cost? National Association of Realtors report a median staging service costs around $1,500. In South Florida luxury market, that can be substantially higher, depending on the scope of work and vacancy. But the point is, many sellers spend less on staging than what they lose from one price reduction. 1 month of carry costs or one aggressive post-inspection credit. So here's the real reason staging can be worth in Weston. It improves the two things that most directly protects your final number. First, weak demand and negotiation in strength, because sellers don't usually lose money at the listing price. They lose money later when the listing sits, when the urgency dies, and when the buyers assume something is wrong with the house. And then you negotiate from weakness. So here's my honest answer. Staging is worth it when it helps you win the first 7 to 10 days and maintain leverage long enough to secure a clean contract. This is where seller wastes the most money, staging everything. Luxury staging is about impact, concentration, not spreading budget everywhere. According to NOR, the room buyers care most about stage are the living room, the primary bedroom, the kitchen, and from the listing side, those are the rooms most commonly staged because they drive value perception. I want you to think like this. Which room appears in the first 10 pictures? Those rooms are your staging priority. If you stage every room, but the first 10 pictures don't feel premium, you miss the point. So here's the Weston staging priority order I use for my sellers. I do entryways, living area. This sets an emotional temperature. Luxury buyers want to feel calm, open, clean. Then I stage the kitchen. Even if the house or the kitchen is not fully renovated, but it must look bright, uncluttered, and modern in presentation. The primary bedroom. Luxury buyers want the primary feel like a suite, not like a storage room. Another space that I love to include in staging is the dining area. Only if it helps the layout clarity in the layout of the property. The goal is to make spaces feel intentional. And last but not least, the outdoor and pool area in South Florida. This is not an extra, it's a lifestyle driver. Now, a controversial truth. Bathroom can be photographed beautifully with a simple styling. But in most cases, spending big staging dollars on bathroom is not where the huge return of the investment lives. Keep them spotless, bright, hotel clean, and move the budget to the spaces that sell the story. Let me explain what staging does at the psychological and practical level, because this is what creates return of investment. Win number one, staging increase perceived space, not actually the square feet. Perceived space. Furniture scale, placement, and open walkways make room feel larger. The win number two, staging clarifies layout. Empty rooms confuse the buyers. Over-furnished rooms overwhelm the buyers. So good staging's answer. This is how you live in here. Win number three, staging improve online performance. Better pictures usually mean more clicks and safe and showings. So more showing means more chances of competition. And more competition protects your price. Win number four, staging reduces discount thinking. When a home looks dated or cluttered, buyers start calculating how much it will cost me to fix this. Even if the issue is just presentation, they treat it like a value loss. And win number five, staging supports highest quality negotiation. When the listing feels premium, buyers come in more respectful. When it looks sloppy, buyers come in hunting for reductions. And remember, the same NIR report shows sellers' agents most commonly recommend decluttering, cleaning, and curb appeal as the first steps. That's because staging doesn't work on top of mess. Staging amplifies what really is there already, the good and the bad. So if you want to stage in return of investment, your foundation is declutter, deep clean, lighting, curb appeal. Then staging becomes powerful. So what's the cost? What it really looks like in a luxury Weston sale. Now, let's talk about money realistically without fantasy numbers. National guidance sources often cite staging costs like a consultation fee, plus a monthly furniture rental per stage per space, depending on your scope of work and the vacancy. In Western luxury, staging often falls into three practical tiers. Tier number one, owner assisting staging light. This is for occupied homes that already have furniture. The goal is to remove the clutter, adjust the layout and the light, styling, and make it feel premium. The budget usually is lower because you are not renting. It's a full set of furniture. This is best for sellers who have quality furniture and the home is already in good condition. The tier number two is a partial staging. Staging the living room, the primary, the dining, the outdoor. This is often the best return of investment tier because it targets the highest impact rooms. This is best for sellers who need that luxury polish and that picture power without full staging. And the tier number three, which is the full staging, usually I recommend that for vacant homes or homes where existing furniture really hurt the listing. This is best for vacant luxury listings or when layouts need a strong direction. So here's the seller decision rule. Don't choose a staging level based on pride. Choose it based on your competition in your price lane when staging is not worth it. Yes, sometimes staging is not your best first move. Staging is not worth it when the home has visible issues the buyers will negotiate anyway, like obvious deferred maintenance, water staining, worn floors, outdated paint with heavy scuff, broken fixtures, poor lighting. In those cases, the first return of investment move is not furniture. It's removing the risk and improving basic perception. A deep clean, paint touch-ups, lighting upgrades, minor repairs, curb appeal. Because if the buyer first thought is this feel neglected, staging won't save you. It just become expensive lipsticks. A stage home must feel cared for. If you want a simple way to decide, use this staging return of investment test. Question number one. And I'm competing with a stage listing. If yes, no staging can quietly lower your perceived value. Question number two. Are my first 10 pictures going to feel premium without staging? If not, staging is likely worth it because the online impression controls showings. Question number three. Is my home vacant or visually confusing in key rooms? If it's a yes, staging becomes a layout tool, not just a design. Question number four. Am I trying to protect a premium price? If yes, staging often protects your leverage because it reduces hesitation and discount behavior. Now, here's the business move. Compare staging costs to the cost of weakness. Weakness costs you longer time on the market, price reduction, carry-on costs, and buyer credits. One price reduction can easily be more expensive than the cost of staging, especially in luxury. Biggest impact checklist. If you want the biggest staging impact in Weston, do this. Declutter. Really hard. Remove personal items, excess furniture. Do a deep cleaning like you are in a 5-star hotel. Brighten the light bulbs, the lamps, the window treatment. The entry and the living room, stage that first. The primary bedroom is staged like a suite, and the kitchen cleared. Outdoor space is styled for lifestyle camera tests before professional picture. If you do those, your listing will feel premium, even without a renovation. So, is luxury staging worth in Weston? The data supports that if often increase offers and reduce time on the market when it's done strategically. And in luxury, strategy beats spending. If you're selling in Weston and you want a staging plan tied to your exact competition, what to stage, what to skip, and how to create a maximum impact without wasting money, I can create a plan based on your home. This is Denise Landaeta from the Luxus Group in Coldwell Banker, and I'll see you in the next one.